Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay.
All right, guys, buckle up because this courtroom battle isn't your typical child support case. On one side, we've got a father struggling to keep up with the rising costs of raising a preteen daughter. On the other side, a mother who's remarried to a wealthy CEO, yet insists she shouldn't pay more. The tension between fairness, money, and responsibility is about to explode. Let's dive in.
Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting.
Here's the father, Mr. Kennedy, calmly explaining why he's asking for more support. He's not demanding luxury. He's talking about sports fees, travel costs, and basic safety for his daughter. Notice how grounded his request is? He's painting himself as the responsible parent just trying to give his child stability. But watch closely, because the mother side of the story will challenge that image.
I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance.
And here it comes. The mother claims the father is exploiting her new marriage. Already, we see a legal and emotional clash. Is child support about her responsibilities as a parent, or about what her wealthy new husband can provide? Courts are very strict here. Step-parent income usually doesn't count. But her framing immediately shifts the spotlight from the child's needs to marital dynamics.
Energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week, okay. All right.
So, which really isn't that big a deal.
Did you catch that? She's receiving a $500 weekly allowance from a husband driving a $200,000 car. That's over $2,000 a month, yet she insists it isn't much. For viewers, this is where the drama spikes. What looks like financial comfort to the outside world, she dismisses as not a big deal. It raises the question, is this about money or about avoiding responsibility?
Has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that what.
The mother argues that because she put aside her own education for her ex-husband's career, she deserves financial credit now. Legally, though, that's a divorce issue, not child support. This is a powerful moment. Personal sacrifice meets cold legal reality. Viewers, what do you think? Should past sacrifices weigh into present obligations?
Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of energy, so to say.
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No, his success has nothing to do with.
The father responds with striking clarity. He doesn't want money from her new husband, just help for their daughter. His statement is both legally correct and emotionally resonant. He's separating pride from responsibility. This is key because the judge will soon rule based only on her income, not her new husband's fortune.
Is make you pay more in child support, because at this point you've been paying zero, because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay, but you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay, so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
Well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off.
And here's the legal turning point. The judge calculates child support from the mother's $500 weekly allowance. After taxes, it equals about $2,000 a month. This shows how courts dig past excuses to find real numbers. No matter how she frames her lifestyle, the judge zeroes in on clear, reportable income. It's the law stripping drama down to math.
Comes out to $1,662.53, okay? That would give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So, in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
The final calculation lands $266 in monthly support, plus $130 reimbursement for insurance, totaling $396. This is the first moment where money gets real. Notice how the mother's arguments suddenly shift when actual numbers are on the table. It's no longer about her husband's wealth. It's about her own share of responsibility.
If he's still subscribing to the same psychic,
Okay.
but she charges, I think it's $412 a month.
Okay.
And-
What does this psychic have to do with these numbers?
Well, because I just feel like if he can afford the psychic, then maybe he can afford the insurance. And I guess I feel that is.
And then the curveball. She brings up his psychic subscription, claiming that if he can afford a psychic, he can pay more child expenses. This is a desperate pivot, almost comical, but also revealing. Instead of focusing on her child, she deflects with personal jabs. Viewers, do you think that undermines her credibility?
Psychic, if he chooses to do that, that has nothing to do with your responsibility, your financial responsibility.
The judge shuts it down immediately.
Why?
Because legally, where the father spends his money, whether on groceries or psychics, has no bearing on her obligation. This sharp correction is a classic courtroom moment, emotion colliding with the limits of the law, and it leaves her with no escape route.
To your daughter. So if there's nothing further from either of you, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rise and walk out.
Now comes the educational wrap-up from the judge. She explains the central rule. Under Texas law, child support is based only on your income, not your spouse's. This is a crucial point for anyone watching. Remarriage does not erase parental duty. It's a sobering reminder that no matter your lifestyle, the law prioritizes the child's financial security.